Hello and welcome and hello to
Hello.
the number one watched podcast by my fiance on Twitch. This is Lore of the Things. I'm Barry Dubs.
I'm the Kid Zach,
This is
and
the Kid
welcome
Zach.
to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I'm just
What
eating some spaghetti.
do you got there? Spaghetti?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Is that mom's spaghetti?
Little linguine. Some classic sauce. Parmesan. Something sauce.
Your palms are heavy?
Put some mousse on it.
He's weak.
Arms are heavy.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, no.
What's your favorite Italian dish? Is it spaghetti?
My favorite Italian dish? That is a loaded question, my friend.
Come on. Okay, let's say favorite American Italian dish.
I'd have to say cannoli.
Okay. Well, you just cheated, but okay, because cannolis are the best. What do you think here?
I don't
We're
know.
going spaghetti?
I like a
Chicken
good...
parm?
Not really. I mean, I like a good, like... If I'm going really cheap, really American style, you know what I mean? I like a linguine. That's the noodle that I like.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a flat noodle.
yeah, that's a flat one for those out there who are uncultured, huh?
Slightly wide. Not super wide.
No,
Tiramisu all day, baby.
not like a fettuccine, you know what I mean?
Not that wide, not that flat.
I like a linguine. Oh, look
A
at
little
that.
girth.
Where'd that come from?
A little girth to it. What the hell is that?
It's a salad, Caesar salad.
Oh my god. What restaurant are you at right now? You at a restaurant?
You got it delivered. Yeah, fine dining.
Italiano.
That's my
Looks
salad
good.
fork. You see?
Oh. You separate forks?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god.
No, I actually don't. I like that little bit of Caesar that gets on your fork, and then you just take a bite of spaghetti with it. I'm okay with that.
I go for a straight mix. I just mix it up.
You just stir it with the Caesar.
You just stir it all up.
You're a psychopath.
I just stir everything up together.
So I like
Anything I'm eating. Anything I eat.
I like a linguine. We might as well throw it in the blender at that point. And just
Yeah,
drink
just
it.
blend it up. Blend it up for me. I'll just drink it out of a super straw.
So, the way that my mom always did it, okay?
Mom spaghetti. Describe mom spaghetti to me.
She would get thin spaghetti noodles or angel hair.
Yeah,
The
a
cans,
classic.
the 98-cent cans of Hunt's sauce,
Mm-hmm.
the 4-cheese one,
Okay. I
and then
gotcha.
just a pound of hamburger meat. That was my mom's version of spaghetti.
See, I did some. Yeah, there was some hamburger meat involved in my childhood spaghetti as well. I think it's good.
I like well, it's easy.
But that tastes like sloppy, or that sounds like sloppy Joe to me, buddy.
It's easy though, you know what I mean?
That sounds like a sloppy Joe salad.
I like a little linguine.
Yeah.
Sauce, I like what kind of store-bought sauce do you like?
Me?
I think I like the ragu or like the prego or whatever.
Oh, I don't do store-bought sauce. No, I simmer that shit for hours. No, if I go for store-bought, I just grab the most expensive thing because I feel bad for buying store-bought sauce.
Oh, okay. So you go to like Publix and they have like the fancier ones on like the top shelf.
Yeah, they don't taste any different. They cost $10. But
Worth, right?
yeah, they got a picture of an old-timey photo of like a family, an Italian immigrant family on the cover.
No, you got like a
front of
handwritten
it.
label on it.
Yeah, it's drawn by a 4-year-old. That's how you know it's good.
I go and I'll get like just some Publix brand or whatever brand Italian sausage, you know?
Yeah. some hot Italian sauce.
Just cook that up. Put it in the sauce. Let it sit in there for a little while. Soak it up.
Yep.
And
that's good stuff.
That's pretty much it, dude.
I can't see your whole environment right now. It might be just off camera, but I don't see any garlic bread.
Oh yeah, right here.
I'm wondering what's
this
going
is
on.
Just, it's just Texas toast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's all garlic bread is these days, right?
You just go easy with it. And what I do is I just put a little on there. Like this. A little on there, you know what I mean?
Great, that's looking pretty squirrely. It's looking good.
You just go for it.
I think this is. Can you put the mic a little closer? Can we just start an ASMR stream?
Yeah.
Just get you in fucking slopping some spaghetti all over some. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Okay. Hey, we're gonna switch it over now. We're gonna go for how do they get those? How do they whisper so good? They practice.
They use like those mics. You ever seen those mics? And they're like,
they're like the ears. They're supposed to be like ears.
Yeah. They go ear to ear if you're using surround sound.
I've seen them. No, I'm talking. How do they, like, their actual whispering abilities seem superior to mine?
Well, they practice first of all.
You think they're just sitting in bed at night, just whispering to themselves?
No.
Just to practice.
I don't think so.
Doing dry runs.
It probably depends on the ASMR streamer, but I think a lot of them just have a soft whisper. I mean,
that's probably why they get into it. It's probably a catalyst.
You just got to make it like not poppy. Like, hello, welcome to the stream tonight. This is gonna be another amazing one for you, and we're gonna talk about you know.
Yeah. Your mic is just struggling to capture that though. You're cutting the thresholds.
This is for you. The other one is on the stream. The stream heard that, and now they're.
Oh, okay. Okay,
they're gonna be rip roaring and ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, what about you? What do you like for Italian dishes? What's your favorite Italian dish?
Okay, let's see.
We can go Italian American. You know what?
Solo says
something you like to make when you're at home.
And Victoria's our flame store-bought sauce. I'll have to try those out. XLR mics, yeah, they're powered mics. My favorite Italian or Italian American dish.
That's something you make at home, you know.
We make.
Or if you go out to.
I don't know. I mean, I call everything spaghetti. First of all.
Where do you go? You ever eat out Italian or no?
Yeah, there's a place. Oh, Zappos or Zappies or something on Beach Street. Place is good. It's expensive though. Once a year type of place.
Is it like a fancy? Is it fancy? It doesn't sound fancy. It sounds like a pizza place.
No, it's pretty. Yeah, no, it's pretty fancy actually. I was surprised. But Genovese for me does it. Zappies is bomb. See, Solo knows. No, but Genovese, even their dishes, like their pizza is the best.
I don't know, dude. All I do is eat their pizza, so I wouldn't know. Like, I've had Stromboli from there.
That's different, right? That's like a folded up pizza. No, their chicken parm is on point too.
Is it?
I'm like a lasagna fan, actually.
You know, this is gonna sound like sacrilege, but like I really like Stouffer's lasagna.
Yeah, well, you know, it's comfort, you know. It's good. It is good.
But I only like what I really like is like the super meaty one.
Yeah.
They put like the little cubes of pepperoni and all kinds of different meat in it.
Right.
I like that one a lot.
It's got like 4 whole pigs in it worth of meat.
Yeah, it's good.
Now, Amber made some lasagna the other day with eggplant. Oh my god, breaded eggplant. So good.
See, I've never had breaded eggplant before.
Oh, it's really good. And if you really take your time and you soak the eggplant for like 30 minutes to an hour in salt water beforehand, it draws out all the bitterness.
Because I know, I've heard, like, eggplant parmesan, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard that sort of stuff's popular.
Oh, it's very popular. It's a good alternative.
This is actually a pretty good segue. We're gonna do a new thing on the show here.
All right.
I'm going to.
We're gonna do a spaghetti eating contest. I'm ready.
This is gonna be pretty high profile with the production value. You know what I mean? Might be a little bit highbrow for some people.
All right. Okay. What's the pizza spot on the corner of Beach and Orange by Courthouse? Stavros? Is that Stavros? I think it's Stavros. It's like one of many Stavroses around town, I believe.
Yeah, it's like Stavros 3 or 4.
Yeah. They did have, they
We're
used to
actually
have
gonna
better
start
food.
putting this on the screen.
There we go. There we go.
We're gonna go.
I think that Stavros kind of fell down though. I don't know. Last time I was there,
I never thought it was that hot, but I never had that one over there.
There's a lot of places that I had when I was a little younger, and I think I loved them, and I haven't been back, and I'm sure they're shit because I was stupid and young.
Dude, you know what I miss?
Would eat candy. What?
Boost Bowery, dude.
Dude, remember the Metal Slugs game in there?
You remember their like suicide wings or whatever they were called?
Yeah. Dude, that place, it's still there, right?
No.
What?
You know what they put there? No, they knocked down that and the corner store right there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Put a Cumberland Farms right there.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I not know that's the Cumberland Farms?
Knocked it down, put Cumberland Farms there.
Also, what the hell is Cumberland Farms? It's just a convenience store, right?
It's like Wawa Light.
Why do we need so many convenience stores?
For convenience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cumberland Farms kind of sucks.
Does it? I don't know if I've ever been in there.
I mean, if I made a tier list, it would be like Wawa, 7-Eleven probably, and then like Cumberland, and then like, well, no, because sometimes those racetracks have like those frozen yogurts, so that would move it up quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, the Friel, the Freeze or Frill or something. What's it called? Those frozen yogurts? You mix them up right there, right?
Yeah,
the machine does.
Well,
those are good.
You get it, and then you go and there's like a little bar.
Yeah.
Put your toppings on there. They got like Lucky Charms and like Fruity Pebbles. I get like the lemon. There's like a lemon flavor, like a lemon dolce flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, and I just put some Fruity Pebbles on it.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
That sounds... And it mixes it all, smashes it all together or something?
No. I wish.
No, you know what I'm talking about? Those little machines?
You're talking about the milkshake things?
Oh, that's a milkshake, yeah.
Yeah,
The Friel milkshakes.
Oh, those are pretty good.
Those are good.
The mocha one is pretty good. It's like a Jamocha shake from Arby's.
Yeah. I just like how that whole machine, it's like a little taste of all those cool Japanese, like vending machines you see on.
Yeah, where you can like buy like panties and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
not those ones, right?
I was thinking more like a milkshake, maybe.
Oh, okay.
No, you can buy like anything though. You could buy panties. You could buy a panty milkshake, I think, if you want.
Yeah, I was wondering like what the correlation was between the two, but you know. So last time on the show we were talking about pizza. Obviously we love pizza, like, you know. And we talked about when you were in Italy and you had that pizza de Napoli or whatever, and it was like chewy and not crunchy and like just not good, you know.
It wasn't for me. They swear by it, I'm sure. I'm sure whatever pizza you love, you swear by.
Well, I mean, doesn't that prove that like the old way is not always the best way? Like,
To me, it definitely proves that we've made numerous advancements in the pizza world.
I mean, some cases it is, but it's not like an absolute thing. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, yeah, because there's some things. That
Obviously,
are
I
still
mean, like hand squeeze rolled mozzarella is going to be better than, you know, machine made, probably.
But, maybe, probably. Sometimes it's a psychological thing too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, especially if you make it yourself. You know what I mean?
If you make it yourself, it tastes good no matter what.
I don't know about that. You remember that no-bake? You remember that no-bake Fruity Pebble cheesecake I made that one time?
Yeah. I didn't taste it, but I remember it.
It was like cream cheese.
Can't get the image out of my mind.
Yeah, it was just cream cheese, dude.
Just straight up cream cheese.
So we talked about pizza, but I wanted to talk about something more specific, and it really pertains to this whole COVID-19 isolation situation. We're not going out as much. We're not doing our thing. Frozen pizza, I believe, is a very overlooked item to have in your freezer. They're always kind of
pizza.
They're always kind of looked down upon as like this is terrible. You know what I mean?
The topic just changed to frozen pizza right before my eyes. What just happened here? But some top-notch quality production program. Yeah, I like frozen pizza.
I got Dubkin on the controls.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything against it, man.
What do you like? What do you like? You like DiGiorno? I'm not a big DiGiorno guy.
I like that. There's like this California pizza, frozen pizza. Have you seen that?
Yeah, California Pizza Kitchen.
Solo, yeah, okay, that's what it is.
Solo actually mentioned that in the chat already.
Oh,
California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had that one. I had one with like some spinach on it or something.
So I thought that California Pizza Kitchen was just like a frozen pizza company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was in the airport.
And you saw a free California Pizza Kitchen?
Yeah, there's a place called California Pizza Kitchen.
Really?
Same logo and everything.
Okay, so they really do it then.
So it's a place. I mean, it's probably like an airport place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta say, other than all the stress and everything, airports are pretty cool places to be, man.
They are super cool until they're not, you know? Yep. Until you're in there rushing to get to a flight and they're fucking
Yeah, but if your flight's delayed, like...
Oh, I don't really mind it.
No, you're just chilling. You know what I mean?
No, because there's like a lot of different stuff, especially if you're in a good one.
Yeah.
Orlando's okay, but like...
You can go, you can... I mean, if you're a drinker, you just go and have a beer or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you could definitely just live it up.
Yeah.
We went to...
Amber probably have, 5 or 6...
Yeah.
5 or 6 mixed drinks right there at the airport bar, you know what I mean?
No, you definitely could just slam them back if you're...
You're about to fly anyway, who cares?
Right, you're not driving, right?
Unless you see the pilot for your flight sitting there getting drunk too.
I think those things fly themselves.
I think they kind of do nowadays.
Yeah.
I think you got to land it though, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Don't you have to sort of take off and land?
Yeah, it's the same thing every time, right? It's the ground. It's different.
Yeah, but like,
just don't hit the ground too hard.
You gotta open the stuff. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to oversimplify it.
Solo says he sat at MCO for 7 hours.
Damn.
So he got shit Coronas.
Well,
that's all you can do in Orlando, really.
Well, you got to keep Corona alive somehow. The company's going under into this one.
Yeah, they're doing not so great actually.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Those people with their flight simulators, man.
Those people are working harder than the actual
people
pilots,
get crazy with their flight simulators, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy. They do full real-time 7-hour flights and shit.
Yeah, they put up hours on that.
Yeah.
Because you have to do a certain amount of simulator hours before they actually let you fly.
I'm talking about people that just do it.
Oh, yeah, those people are insane.
Just for fun.
No, I mean, they're doing it, though. They're having a lot of fun, probably. They're into that shit.
So, frozen pizza. You like the DiGiorno's or what? What's up? I don't like DiGiorno. It's a little too, I don't know, it's chewy, it's weird.
Yeah, DiGiorno seems like it would be, based on my gained knowledge of your pizza preferences, it's too thick and doughy for you, isn't it?
You know what's good? It's a
What's
cheaper
that?
one, too. It's not super cheap. Not like Totino's cheap.
That Totino's is not pizza.
No.
Go on.
No.
Go on.
Red Baron.
I used to eat a lot of the Red Barons.
Yeah. Like the triple meat Red Baron.
Yeah, and they got those like really thick pepperoni, like not slices, they're like little matchsticks. You know what I mean?
It's the perfect crisp for me, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
I like that thin crust, but not cardboard style. You know?
That classic crust.
Yeah, yeah.
That classic crust Red Baron. Those are cheap, though. Those are good.
Because I'm not like say like Papa John's, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
There he is. There's the Red Baron right there.
Manfred von Richthofen.
Yeah, he was an ace.
The pizza that I eat celebrates a Nazi.
No, you know who the Red Baron was, right?
He's a fighter pilot with the German Air Force during World War One.
Yeah, he sure was. He wasn't a Nazi.
The German Air Force during World War One.
Yeah, he's not a Nazi. We just keep doing that little sound.
The German Air Force during World War One.
No, he was a
I
German.
thought that was Nazi time, dude.
No.
Look at this
That's
plane.
about 30 years too early.
Tell me this isn't. You tell me this isn't a Nazi plane right
here. Yeah, dude. Look up what they were flying during World War II and tell me that's turn of the century.
My wait, hold on. World War II Red Baron. Let's see what he was doing during World War II.
He didn't fare so well in World War II. See his birthday, death date right there.
Where?
All right, May 2nd,
1918.
He passed away. He passed away. All right.
R.I.P. All right, World War II.
German plane.
German fighter.
Now that's you're gonna see some stuff now.
So, my brother's ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
He's an old German guy. Not his ex-girlfriend.
Man, your brother. I knew your brother got down like he was a little
My brother's ex-girlfriend's grandpa.
Yeah, flew Messerschmitts.
Was an old German guy, right?
Yeah.
And he had all this weird memorabilia.
He was a Nazi. You're trying to tell
some
me.
Weird stuff, dude. Like iron crosses and like two-headed eagles and.
Yeah. We're passing that stuff out, man.
We lived out Tomoka Farms area. He had one of these planes.
Really?
In his barn. He had some kind of crazy iron cross German.
After the war,
crazy iron cross German plane.
Really? Like a Messerschmitt like that?
I don't know. It wasn't really like that. It was a smaller one.
Okay.
But there definitely was. It was a Nazi plane for sure. And the guy was mean, dude. So mean.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was a dick.
It's like Apt Pupil. Remember that one?
What was that?
You don't remember Apt Pupil?
No.
Come on. Oh, come on. It's one of your favorite authors. If I say it's one of your favorite authors, who do you think of right away?
Stephen King.
That's right. You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
It's about this kid who befriends a local elderly gentleman.
Oh no, dude.
And hilarity ensues.
Oh,
no, I don't know.
no.
It's kind of insensitive, but it's a good one. It's very good actually. It's part of different seasons. With Shawshank Redemption, Rita Hawthorne, Shawshank Redemption, The Body, which is Stand By Me, Apt Pupil, and The Breathing Game. Do you remember The Breathing Game?
Mm-mm.
You got to read different seasons again. The Breathing Game was about the woman who was pregnant. I think it's been a while. She was doing that breathing exercise, or maybe she was breathing because she was asthmatic.
I've read a lot of King, but like I know I haven't read everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 4 seasons. That's one of my favorites for sure.
The ones that come to mind immediately. I mean, what got me into reading in the first place was I had an old beat up copy on our bookshelf of Salem's Lot, and that I read that probably 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Yeah. Love it. It's the first time I've ever encountered that much humanization in a horror story.
Yeah. Wow.
And I realized that Stephen King wasn't this horror writer that I thought he was. That he was just a writer.
Right. You thought he was like monsters and stuff or something? Yeah.
I just figured out he was just a writer who just happens to dive into the paranormal, but he develops the characters as if it was just another novel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he definitely does. He develops them for
like a great modern American author.
He certainly is. He said, did you see that? It wasn't really a meme. He might have really said it because he says shit like that, but it said Stephen King is sorry that you feel like you're in a Stephen King novel right now. With all this coronavirus. It's called The Breathing Method, not The Breathing Game.
So
it's pretty good.
The ones that come to mind for me, I know I haven't read them all, but and I was a little wild back in the day. I don't have the best memory, you know what I
mean? But little garlic bread out. Oh, that's not garlic bread.
That's a Milano cookie, first of all.
You ate too many cookies. Can't remember things. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But Salem's Lot, because I read it a few times. Into the Badlands as a side note. All right, we'll go back to Stephen King in just 1 second. Let me change this topic here so I remember to go back to it.
Into the Badlands.
This I want to talk about. This I want to talk about for sure.
What is this? This doesn't look appealing to me.
I want to talk about this.
Oh yeah, it does. What are these?
This is okay. We'll talk about it.
Vampires. What is this? People get trapped in a Renaissance fair.
So, Into the Badlands. It's an AMC show.
They're just cranking them out, aren't they?
But they make good TV, man.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're cranking out the winners.
Mad Men. Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Kind of went off the rails, but
I haven't watched in a while.
No, their shows are very it's got a lot of feels blended together. It's got medieval sort of, also like feudal Japanese kind of kung fu sort of thing going on, with maybe a little bit of like a Western feel to it.
Yeah, this looks like a weird show, man.
It's very comic book brought to life.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big fan.
Solo says it's a good show too. In the chat here,
but
I've never even heard of this.
I watched the whole first season, and it was cool, man. It's got like a quiet protagonist who has a a troubled past. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like evil.
Right.
No. But it plays onto a trope like, oh, anything outside of these areas and these farms and things, and it's like people that are like slaves basically.
Mm-hmm.
Anything outside of these areas is the Badlands. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like there's nothing out there. There's like a
village situation.
Yeah. Like a
M. Night Shyamalan.
There's nothing out there. You know what I mean? It's just there's nothing.
It's a pretty good trope, though. I like that.
It is a good trope. It is. Like a Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Situation. So the reason that I'm upset is I'm pretty sure they canceled it.
It says that they had their series finale aired on May 6, 2019.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was canceled prematurely.
Oh, really? Let's see. See if we go to the reception. It doesn't really say here. Wait. Yeah. I don't know if it was canceled. Oh, yeah. Left largely unfulfilled. Somebody is quoted as saying had potential that's left largely unfulfilled.
Yeah, see. And there was like a lot going on in that show. It started like you were looking through a pinhole. You know what I mean?
Right, and then they opened.
Then you found a couple more things, and you're looking through like a small circular window. And then you find out a couple more things, and you're looking through like a regular window. Until it opens up to like a doorway. And then it opens up even more, and you're just like, you just have a horizon in front of you. But I don't think they ever got the chance to refocus it back down to
why it all matters.
The point that they wanted to make. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and Jameson's right. The Walking Dead sort of dragged on, tanked a little bit, started tanking a little bit. And,
yeah, for sure.
He's thinking that's why people stopped watching AMC shows.
See, I don't have cable, so that helps.
See, I personally, I'm probably one of the only few concurrent viewers. I still watch The Walking Dead.
Oh, really? You're like up to date? Is it still on?
Oh.
I lost track of that.
I'm not up to date. I'm probably like a season behind. I Netflix it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
When it comes out, I'll watch it.
Right.
I'm not like chomping at the bit, like, oh, we gotta watch the next episode of The Walking Dead. But I catch up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm like a few.
Got very comic booky
behind.
And but you know what? Got very comic booky, but it introduced one of the main baddies of the comic, Negan. And
right.
He's portrayed in the comic as like he's like a smooth talking guy, but he like curses a lot and like, you know, has his own way of doing things. He's like the leader of this place called the Sanctuary and the Saviors, who like basically just extort people of different communities. But he's portrayed as like a smooth talking baddie with the slick back hair, and he's got like a leather jacket, and he's got this like signature baseball bat called Lucille.
I've heard of that.
It's a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. He's a Vegeta. Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
So he is portrayed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a fantastic job playing him.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh, yeah, okay, I know that guy.
He's a comedian in Zack Snyder's Abomination that was Watchmen that I kind of liked, actually. You ever seen that, Watchmen?
Sure, of course.
The Zack Snyder one?
Yeah.
It's vastly hated by the Watchmen fan base.
I'm not a big enough Watchmen fan to hate anything Watchmen related, really. You know?
Well, what Watchmen is widely regarded as the best piece of fictional literature ever written. So,
well, not by me. I've never read
have
it.
you
I've
read
never
it though?
read it. No,
I'll
I
let you
haven't.
borrow it.
Yeah,
You'll
it's a
definitely like it. It's a
graphic
graphic
novel, or
novel.
is it? Yeah.
I have like the Ultimate Edition, so it has the graphic novel with some like novel within a novel things mixed in, written by characters. It's got a lot, and then it's got another comic book inside the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tales of the Black Freighter. So there's a lot going on.
I like the premise of it.
It's really 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 good.
I like it. It's almost like, to me, outside observer, because I haven't really gotten too much into it. It's like they rip off the veil, the mystique, and it gets down to the nitty gritty. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like
the premise is who watches
breaking
the
the fourth
Watchmen.
wall.
Like,
Right, yeah.
the
That
premise
makes
is like, if there was a Superman, would he even be? Would he even care about humanity? Would he even? And why is he allowed? Like, why do we allow him to just act with impunity? Because we have to. We're scared.
because
You know
he's
what I
an
mean?
alien. He's an alien freak.
Well, I mean, what if happens if you stand up against him and he just punches through your face? Like,
Right. No, that's and that's why I like kind of. That's why I was always an X-Men fan too, because it made more sense to me.
well,
Like
the
there was
X Men thing,
real,
instead of it just
more
being like,
real
oh,
life.
the X Men's like, instead of it being like, oh, you're an alien, or oh, you got hit by a bolt of lightning during a,
Right. You're just
flux
a genetic
capacitor
freak.
incident or radiated. You're just mutated into that.
Yeah. And I liked how they were always.
I liked how they're treated like freaks because that's how it would be.
Yeah.
You know what
Society is like, we don't want you here, and they're like, we're saving the world. And they're like, we don't care. We
I
don't
mean? We
like
don't,
you.
but they're still
Different.
doing it.
Right.
They're
I
still
like
saving the
that
world,
aspect.
though.
It made it
You
seem
know what
more
I mean?
real, like more. It
Yeah.
made it seem like a better explanation of why they were.
Yeah, I mean, X Men goes deep too. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole Jean Grey thing with like Professor X. Is it morally okay for him to put all those bindings in her brain to lock her in because she's way too powerful to be? You know what I mean?
Right.
But he gave her some quality of life. But is it a full quality of life, or is it just a semblance of what she should be? Should she be that all powerful because that's how she was born? You know what I mean?
Who made him?
It brings
God,
up a lot of classic conundrums.
Yeah. Well, it does. It goes into society and all that good stuff. More so, I think, than the 1950s, 40s, maybe 40s, 50s, whatever it was, like Captain America.
Yeah, where they started there. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. They're
Because
just
all of those stories have evolved into modern versions of
No,
themselves.
I know that, but the basis, as a kid looking at these superheroes, let's say, you just hear like their origin story, and you're like, okay,
Okay,
like
he came down in a pod. He's all powerful.
Right.
The only thing that can stop him is some stone from his home planet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I guess I'm talking more to Superman specific. I'm calling Superman out directly because Captain America actually has I like his backstory too.
Well, yeah, but have you seen The Boys?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I know. I'm just putting it off.
that's a good one, dude.
You got too much stuff to watch.
There's a very Superman-esque character in The Boys, named Homelander. He's like America's hero. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he just, you gotta watch it. He's a sociopath. It's pretty. He's pretty terrifying, man. I gotta say.
Really?
The Boys is sort of like that Watchmen premise as well. Like there's a group of heroes called the Seven, and they just sort of do whatever they want. But they also treat it as like a corporation. Like the Seven are like a marketable good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They sell like the Seven. It's like, oh, they make movies and they make, it's like they would if superheroes were real. Like the corporation runs.
Yeah, so it does that little bit of throws away the mystique. That's popular right now, I think. You have that as a counter, as a juxtaposition to like the
Well, I think that's why it became popular.
The
But
Marvel.
the Boys is an older comic as well, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it came out.
I feel like there was a surge of like, not anti comics, but like comics that were speaking.
Yeah, the Boys
to
came out in like 06.
comics. That's not old at all. It's like yesterday.
No, yeah, but I mean, it's
Comics
older.
started in like the 50s, though, you know?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like more. Not in this decade. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
2010s, 2020s.
Yeah, to me, it's still the turn of the millennium. In my mind, it sounds like yesterday, but I got you.
Yeah, but if you think about the year 2000, like what came out in the year 2000, like
It was 20 years ago, man.
I mean, think about like StarCraft.
It's insane.
It came out in like 98, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I remember I have a 1998 Game of the Year edition of Diablo somewhere. So
Well, Diablo was like the first.
yeah,
It brought computer games back into the fold. It wasn't the first computer game by any means, but it brought them back in popularity, even amongst nerd culture. Like nerds didn't even want to play computer games, dude.
Right. They weren't. I mean, they were good, but I was playing games the whole time. But Diablo was like another level, man. That was like insane.
And then with that came like Baldur's Gate and like more ARPGs like that. Like,
No, it definitely revolutionized a lot of stuff.
But back to Stephen King.
Okay.
Fully read. What have I read by him? I really like his short story collections. I think they're some of his best works. Night Shift is very classic King.
That's a collection of short stories.
It's very.
Or is it a short story in it?
It's a collection of short stories.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's very like scare tactic, sort of classic King style. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there an airport one on that? I remember reading that, but I can't remember what it was about. Any of them.
They had some good ones for sure. There's the one about the guy that like comes back from space and he's like in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
infested, and he like basically just like blows his head off with a shotgun. But
that's nice. Classic King, right?
All
right.
So Jerusalem's Lot.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. Had to let the dog out.
It's a lot of his short stories that were published in issues of different magazines when he was being published like that. Jerusalem's Lot is like a prequel to his actual Salem's Lot novel. Graveyard Shift, Night Surf, I Am the Doorway, The Mangler, The Boogeyman, Gray Matter, Battleground, Trucks.
So it's a bunch of old stuff then.
Sometimes they come back. Children of the Corn, The Woman in the Room, The Man Who Loved Flowers. Like these were all pretty classic King books. But
sometimes they come back is obviously one of the best ones.
Some of my favorite works by him were actually in this short story collection that was published in 2002. Everything's Eventual.
Yeah, you've mentioned this a couple times. I haven't read this. I haven't read any of these. I don't.
Autopsy Room 4 is a classic trope that he does his own way. It's it's like a buried alive sort of thing. If you weren't dead and people thought you were, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That kind of thing. But some of these are very non-horror, just more strange. You know what I mean? Like LT's Theory of Pets, All That You Love Will Be Carried Away. In the Death Room is actually a really, really good one. I believe Little Sisters of Illyria is actually a prequel to the Dark Tower series.
In 1998? Really?
This one was really good. That feeling you can only say what it is in French. Very, very... Oh, 1408 was in this one.
I saw that movie. I didn't read the book.
Riding the Bullet was in this one.
I have to read this. I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah, all of these were fantastic stories. And they all had completely different feels. I really liked it. Oh, look at this. The audio version. Everything's Eventual read by Justin Long. That's interesting. Yeah, but that's some good works. But for me, it started with Salem's Lot, Dreamcatcher, and a lot of his classics I haven't read.
Really?
Like Carrie, It, Stand By Me, Cujo, nope.
Wow.
Christine.
What about The Stand?
Nope.
Wow. You gotta read that.
I've read.
That's a good one.
See, I branched off, and I've always wanted. I'm like, I want to read everything by Stephen King, but I ended up branching off into like the Richard Bachman category, and I got kind of lost in the sauce there.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good stuff.
The Regulators was really, really, really good.
That's what my mom likes. My mom likes all the Richard Bachman books.
Yeah, there's one called Blaze. It was like a crime noir almost, but with like a Stephen King spin on it.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if you've read Lisi's story. That's one of his newer ones. It's about like the widow of an author. It's pretty interesting.
No, the newest one I read was From a Buick 8. It was pretty good. It's
Bag
2002.
of Bones. Bag of Bones was really, really good. What else have I read?
It's weird because we both like Stephen King, but it sounds like we don't have much overlap in what we've read of him.
I mean, his body of work is just it's huge. You know what I mean?
It might be that we have like a different idea of what Stephen King really is, because we read different stuff.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know. But we both like him. So
I haven't read a lot of Dark Tower either, which I really should.
I tried to listen to it on audiobook, and I didn't like how it was going. I don't know. Maybe I didn't like the person reading it. I don't remember exactly, but
a list of his works here. I don't.
Yeah, you get bibliography or whatever. Probably down lower. It's probably a separate page, actually.
Stephen King that's not how you spell that. Bibliography.
There you go. Biblioteca.
Yeah. So, Salem's Lot, The Shining.
Read that. Read
Dead
The
Zone. Pet Sematary. Misery.
I've read a lot of these, but I definitely have read less than
The Tommyknockers.
half, for sure.
Bag of Bones. Dreamcatcher. Lisi's Story.
Dude, he cranks them out, man.
Blaze. Yeah, I'm missing a lot, man. Like a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
There's different seasons. I've never read that.
That's a really good. Read that one next.
Night Shift.
Just read that one next.
Everything's Eventual is still, I think, my favorite so far.
Yeah, it might stay your favorite, but different seasons is, to me, I mean, like 3 out of 4 of the stories got turned into movies, and they're all short stories.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's pretty good. And really, The Shawshank Redemption isn't really a horror
Yeah.
I mean,
I see the movie, obviously.
Right. But the book is like.
And like the Green Mile, I like that. I really like his style where he goes he branches out of that classic horror. Like,
right. Well, I mean, it is horror in the sense that the Shawshank Redemption, he has his freedom taken away.
Yeah, it's it's not like scary monster. You know what I mean?
Right, but it's even scarier than like a monster. It's too real.
Well, humanity can be the scariest monster.
That's probably a Stephen King quote, right?
It's a quote by me. And
there you go.
Both of us.
Stephen King. Tim.
But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of that. I could talk about that for a long, long time. But what I want to talk about is this is a good one. This is a really good one.
What do you got?
It's gonna be. Let me see. I'm just gonna put this up there for like clickbait. Because this isn't really what I'm talking about right now, but I'm just gonna put Valorant on there.
All right, trying to get the peeps in the stream, huh?
But I want to talk less about Valorant and more about the effect that the streaming culture. I mean, obviously, streaming video games has become like something. Like a main form of entertainment for a lot of people.
It's amazing. It happened overnight, basically.
Yeah.
It didn't. It happened gradually, but it seems like just all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it really broke out into the mainstream overnight.
Right. People are watching it. Everyone's watching it.
And there was a time on Twitch when, like, before just chatting and IRL streams and everything, that if you didn't have a certain amount of gameplay, they would shut you down.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a gameplay streaming site. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, makes sense.
Makes sense. Obviously, that's changed quite a bit, but what I really want to talk about, and I'm sure people have beaten that dead horse plenty. We don't really need to talk about that. What I want to talk about is the way that this new streaming culture has affected the release of video games and their popularity on release. Take a game like Valorant, for instance. Right?
It'll be dead in a week.
Right? It's a humongous company. You know what I mean? League of Legends is like, for a long time, has been among the top 5 streamed games in the world.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, like before Fortnite, I think.
Right.
And maybe even a little bit after. It was the #1 streamed game in the world.
Oh, I'm sure.
League of Legends, just straight up.
I've seen the
champion. The champion.
Right.
I
think it probably doesn't still hold, but it held a concurrent viewers record for a long time.
I mean, it's still a god, a titan of the, a titan of the platform, the various platforms.
Right, but that, I don't know, to me, that's more watchable to the layman.
I also think League of Legends was more...
It was riding a wave.
It was riding a wave of the MOBA, and it was riding a wave of...
streaming, in general.
Well, RTSs also have been the #1 esport for a very long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
You think about esports, and a lot of people think about, Overwatch or whatever Blizzard's tried to do with that, with the Overwatch League and everything, and things like that. But, like, if you really think about esports, it's StarCraft 2, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a whole...
That's like where the classic kings of esports came from.
Right.
And a lot of these League of Legends players grew up playing StarCraft 2. Even the young ones, they played StarCraft 2 when they were like 6 or 7.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
And just got really good, and then, became these professionals on League of Legends because their APM's so high from playing StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still played a lot. You
I know,
can
it's
still
a
get
classic.
on and find a match almost immediately. When
It's
you're
crazy.
in the MAR for StarCraft 2.
It shows how good it was. But there's also this whole other side. There's the Asian market.
Well, yeah, and they love StarCraft, dude.
Yeah, and they also
It's because of the competition of it.
they love League of Legends too.
Well, yeah, it's because of the competition. There's such a competitive angle, and you can always get better. StarCraft hasn't changed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
The
That's
people
the
that
amazing
played it
part.
have adapted to it.
I know the techniques that they're using now versus back then is insane.
With the same game, they've adapted ways to play it differently an exponential amount of times.
Right.
And then the other players have to adapt to counter that.
That's what's insane to me.
Yeah.
To see them how they play these days. Because I used to play all the time StarCraft.
Yeah, but if you watch a stream now, like I can barely watch
it's different. No, I know. It's not the same game.
You don't see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're watching like the competition and somebody else is hosting it and they can show you what's going on, it's cool. But like if you watch a streamer that's a pro, you cannot see what's going on.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because they're bouncing around the screen so much, like you have no clue.
It's all for the.
My buddy
It
won.
makes sense.
My buddy
makes
won
sense
like
that
a
it became
few,
popular.
My buddy won a few grand or whatever as like an amateur StarCraft 2 player. And a couple years ago, he sent me. He's like, "Watch this stream. I like this guy. He's really good." And I watched it, and I'm like, "I don't know what the hell's going on, dude. Like at all."
I know.
The screen's just bouncing around.
Well, that's what makes it so appealing, I think, though, because they become so. It's become so gone over and over and over again that now it's like a fine-tuned. It's more technical than any sport, you know.
Yeah,
I would say
it takes so much practice.
Right. I don't know.
But what I really wanted to talk about was the way that these big names and even smaller name streamers affect the hype of a game that's coming out.
Well,
You think about like Halo 1, right?
yeah.
When Halo 1 was released, I don't think any of us really heard about it.
No, we heard about it because of the Xbox.
We didn't hear like, "Oh, Halo's coming out." You know what I mean?
No, but it was the Xbox is coming out, and they're like, and they have this awesome game, Halo, right?
But I feel like the real way that it exploded was people played it.
Yeah,
And then they
talked
told
about
their
it.
friends, "Dude, gotta play Halo." You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we were just talking about Counter-Strike the other day. My friend, I didn't know what Counter-Strike was. He said, "This is Half-Life, but you just kill people the whole time."
Even games like Half-Life.
Right.
I never saw a commercial
Yeah.
on TV for Half-Life. You know what I mean?
Your friend just played it first. He told you, and you're like, "I got to get this game," or you saw it at like Blockbuster.
And this is how
Or-
things used to spread.
Yeah.
And now they're very focused on. And then for a while, it was like with the AAA titles, like, oh, the new Call of Duty's coming out. You'd see a commercial for it on TV. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Try it today.
Now you just see hype, just hype. These people talking about it.
Yeah. Now you just.
It's a circle though, because
see 10 or 20 different game sites mentioning, oh, this game's coming out, and then you
The
see
same
streamers
article.
saying, oh, this game's coming out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's sort of the same marketing, but it's more what's the word I'm looking for? It's more community driven marketing.
yeah, but I think these companies are just playing. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but they just play into this new way to do it.
No, and
they push it to the extreme.
That's totally fine, but like,
right.
You still got to back it up with like a good game.
I think that's where they're somewhat lacking. Sometimes.
Like, look, how many times have you heard the name Raid Shadow Legends?
Right, exactly.
And how many people do you know that have actually played Raid Shadow Legends?
Yeah, I know 0 people. And I've never played it, and I've never seen gameplay.
So, like, with this Valorant thing, people were very excited because it's a lot like Counter-Strike, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the more competitive FPS players are excited about it, you know?
Do you think it's going to be what League of Legends was to, let's say, StarCraft?
That's the thing, I don't know. Because, like
it's Valorant to Counter-Strike. Like, Counter-Strike did it, has been good for years, has been around for years, has been the king of that niche. Do you think Valorant comes along? Do you think Riot Games is just the people that bring the King Crusher to the table every time?
That's kind of what Riot does.
You think that's gonna?
I think
it could
League.
be.
I think League put a serious dent in StarCraft 2. And
yeah.
I think that people were playing
For
Dota
sure.
on Warcraft 3, which is like the original MOBA after like I think StarCraft Universe, which never really got that much traction.
Right.
Up until probably the release of League of Legends, like heavy.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's because they make a better game or because they do something?
I think they
different?
make it more accessible.
Yeah.
First of all, Riot's games are free.
There it is. I think that's the key.
Second of all, it's just I don't know. With
it's free.
With Dota to League, what they did was
Right.
they simplified it.
And I think they
simplified
it's simple,
a game
but
in
it's
a way.
it's just as complex, though, right?
They simplified the game in a way that it would be ingestible to start, and then they made the skill ceiling very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to learn a lot to get into it. Not in season 1. You know what
To
I mean?
me, that's a good game. That's a really good game.
Now, though, I mean, League has like over, I don't even know, 200 champions. So it's like
Gets more difficult to figure out.
I mean, you don't know what
as a
the hell's going
beginner.
on if you started playing League right now.
To me, when I was a kid, games got progressively harder for the most part. Like, you'd start out and it would be one thing, like Super Mario 3 on the NES. Top game of all time when I was a kid.
What is that?
That's the one with the raccoon. He's flying in the raccoon outfit on the cover. It's a yellow background.
Is 3 the one where you can play multiple characters?
No, that's 2. 2
Okay.
is the one where you can play as Toad or the Princess, Luigi, or Mario.
Luigi.
Yeah, and
I
that
played
one
the hell
is,
out of that one.
Yeah, that one's good. I played the hell out of it, but it wasn't a Mario game. It was a reskinned game called whatever it was called. I forget. Somebody put it in the chat. But anyway, it was a reskinned game. It wasn't originally a Mario game. It's completely different. So number 3 was like number 1.
It's a callback
But
to
better.
the original Mario.
Yeah, it was better. It had the raccoon skin. It had the frog skin. The pea hand that was you could like fly with it. Anyway, it was like you get to like the different worlds and they got harder as you go on. When you get to that last world and you're trying to go fight Bowser, it's like super difficult. But the first level anyone can beat.
And this is
To
before.
me-
Well, this is before like difficulty levels were a thing, and they wanted
Right,
to
no.
cater to. You know what I mean?
They just designed it that way. So I think these games that do that, like you're saying, League of Legends did that. That's key. I think that's a tried and true method.
Well, it keeps you invested.
Yeah, because you are developing yourself as the game develops before your eyes, kind of,
But the problem with a lot of online games is you got to get into them when they first come out,
Yeah,
or you just get left behind.
that's the problem.
Like I played
That's the
Fortnite.
opposite of what I'm saying. It
I
sucks.
played Fortnite when it first came out, and it was
Mhm.
fun. It was really fun. There was very minimal building. People built to like block bullets and things like that. And I went back a little while later, and People are just 4x4 up into a tower into the with the edit and the thing and this and that and like it.
No,
there's no way I could go back and play that now.
Is that Is that inherent of multiplayer games, or is that because these games are basic games? Like League of Legends is a simple game, and so is Fortnite. Really, it's a simple concept. So people have to put like their own stuff into it.
I think
like,
that's just the way gaming is now.
Because it's multiplayer.
Because everything's online.
Exclusive, yeah. Yeah, true.
Like, you think about before online gaming, you think about like Super Smash Brothers Melee or something.
Right.
And like you're playing and you're getting better because you're playing with your friends and your friend's better than you and it makes you better and you know what I mean? But what if you go to another group of friends and those guys are like exponentially better than any of your friends? Like
yeah.
You think your friend is the god of Melee.
Yeah, and then he just gets smoked by
and
the
then your
worst
friend
player
goes
on the
and
other
plays,
team.
Yeah. And he just gets devoured.
The thing. Right.
Once you put it out there online, it's like it opens that to you can play against the best players in the world. And that's why MMR was made, obviously, because it's absolutely necessary. But when you play against someone that much better than you, it just makes you want to get better. Or quit. Or quit. So that's where the curve comes in of, the learning curve of any online game. When you get in, and I mean, there's always going to be somebody better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you get to the point.
Okay. Do you think that League is so popular because it's really truly team based then? Because that you could get teamed up with a lot better people. You can get carried in Fortnite, that's one thing, but if you get you still get smoked. But like League, you could probably really get teamed up, and even if you're a beginner, you could hold your own and still
I feel like in a game like that, and I don't have enough insight, I don't have enough hours in the game to really compare it, but yes, It is much harder to carry a team in a game like that than it is in like a shooter game.
Oh, it's harder to carry a team.
I think so.
Okay. You think the odd man out, though, in League of Legends is going to bring the team down quicker?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think it's harder. I think it's harder to carry a team as one person.
Oh yeah, no.
But if you have four good people on a team and one guy that's not that good, you're probably going to do pretty well. Yeah.
That's maybe why it's so popular, because that entry level, even though people have really stepped their game up and like you get in, you get smashed because people are so
well, I mean, the thing about League too is when you're after a little bit, people do get toxic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you're when you're brand new, people want to help you learn.
Right, because they're excited about the game.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When you drop into Warzone, people don't want to help you learn.
No. You know because they want to go. They want to get
They've already got that out of the way. It's like when me and you team up and we get a 4-man squad and we have two guys that have no idea what they're doing. We're not like, hey, come over here, do this, do that. We're like, oh god.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad.
I think
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that
is much more team based.
I really feel like that communal feel of online gaming is starting to die.
Yeah, I think it's switching to communal feel of online gaming watching.
Yeah, that's fair.
In Twitch chats and stuff.
That's fair, but I mean, even if you go on a Twitch streamer's thing and they're like, first playthrough, people are like, oh, you suck.
No, but when you get a good chat going, these people I think they
support you. I know what you're saying. They say,
know?
Make sure you do this or do that.
And even the chat interacting with the chat. The streamer.
With each other, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just like with each other. And that's the communal thing, I think, because the
Well,
toxicity.
I'll give you an example. Like, I mean, the toxicity is always going to exist. But I was in Asmongold's chat.
It always
earlier.
has, you know.
I was in Asmongold's chat earlier, and he was playing the Shadowlands Alpha, and I kept trying to add him because there's like 50,000 people watching.
Right.
Hey, does the alpha pop up on the BattleNet launcher like the beta would, or do you have to get a special key for it or whatever? And I did it a couple times, and then someone from the chat PM'd me and said, "Hey, it pops up on the launcher like it usually does." You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like,
right.
Oh, well, thanks for the answer. You know?
He wasn't like you banned.
No.
He was trying to help you. Yeah. I think that's something to be looked at.
But if you go and you play World of Warcraft, like a lot, I'd say a high population or a high percentage of the game population does not cater to people that are new.
Yeah.
But it's because,
like this,
and I feel like it's because the game is actually so popular. When I went and I played like Final Fantasy,
oh yeah,
the community was like, "Here, have this, do that." Same thing with like the Old Republic. Same thing with ESO. Same thing with any other smaller MMO. And I think they just have passion for that specific game, and they want to help people get into it. You know what I mean? Or is it just because the game is more casual as a whole, which makes it a less toxic game?
Maybe it's just the people, like, I mean, this might be far-fetched, but think about World of Warcraft. If you want to play World of Warcraft, either you're like you've been playing it for a long time, so of course you're going to play it. But if you want to get into something, if you want to just say, hey, what's the best? I just want to play the best. I just want to get into this. I want to play it. Or you want to say, hey, I really like Final Fantasy. I've always liked that. I'd love to see some of the characters through the years that I like represented in this new game and blah, blah, blah. It's a different mindset going into it.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
So maybe they go into it and they're like, no, I'm here to win. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's like this.
Yeah, because I feel like the only way that you're going to develop a connection with the characters from World of Warcraft or Warcraft is you've been playing it for a really long time.
Right.
Same with Final Fantasy, but like Final Fantasy was historically like a single player game.
Yeah, and that's the only reason.
So when they put it online, you know, a lot of single player players are there wanting to have a group experience, and they, you know, WoW.
I would say people got into Final Fantasy more than WoW.
That's the thing is WoW was never a single player game.
I mean, not more than WoW, more than Warcraft.
Well, yeah. I mean, people liked it.
For sure.
Final Fantasy was definitely a bigger name before World of Warcraft came out.
Yeah, and it was more. So I think maybe the reason you're going into it might affect the general population.
World of Warcraft, when they came out, it was just like it was that MMO experience. It was that real MMO experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was almost like a dumbed down version of like EverQuest. Like EverQuest Lite.
When that came out, I was still in the mode. You're a few years younger than me, so I don't know if you really felt this.
I mean, I was like 13, 14 when WoW came out.
I was at this age when that came out.
That's the only thing I wanted to do.
A little bit before that, I was still amazed that you were playing with other people.
Oh, I got you.
I got you. I remember that was a big deal in my gaming life where I was like, these are actually real people that I'm playing with. Like, I was very boomer about it.
I think I skipped that because I never felt that way.
Yeah, for me it was like, this isn't.
I was never amazed by that fact. I was happy with it.
Right.
But it didn't
you just took it.
It didn't like blow me away though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was amazing, and it felt like that was around that time.
It's something that I wanted. I wanted to play online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think games were becoming like leaning that way at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like
it was weird.
I think for me it started like I played RuneScape, so the idea of seriously, dude?
What? Dub kids calling you out.
It's probably hooked up to the
But no,
the Switch.
Change it out.
Turn the TV on.
I
RuneScape was released 2001.
Yeah.
And then
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. WoW was released. Yeah, RuneScape was 2001 and WoW was 2004.
Yes.
That's amazing. I didn't realize they were that close together.
So I had played RuneScape and it was like crazy. It was cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was mostly like farming, you know, mining, doing things, making money, selling things, making your armor, doing that kind of thing. I never got super into it.
No, I played it for like a day one time.
But when World of Warcraft came out, it had such an appropriate name because it really was an entire planet. Like
of war.
When you make your character and it goes through, I'll show you actually.
Yeah. No, I know. It's like you mean the verses, like the two competing. Maybe that's why they're toxic.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Maybe the word war in the name makes it more toxic player base.
What have I done? I lost you.
You moved me over here. Oh, okay. Here we are.
Okay.
This is now a World of Warcraft stream.
No, I just want to show. I just want to show you something. I want to show you something because this is WoW Classic. Okay.
You gonna reroll?
This is WoW. Go. This is WoW Classic. Right. So this is the recreation of the original experience. You know?
But this is not what it looked like when you signed in, right?
This is very, very similar to what it looked like when you signed in.
Really? Compared to RuneScape.
Yeah, exactly.
No hate on RuneScape, but I can see why this drew people in, for sure.
Let me just delete one of these characters real quick. So, or I'll just go to another realm, actually.
RuneScape feels very 1998 to me, or Windows 98. I just want to
sort of show you exactly what you're kind of looking at when you actually first started playing this game. You know what I mean? Oh God, no, never mind.
There we go.
The queue for that realm. I mean, obviously a lot of things have changed. You used to have to patch manually and everything else, and they did them one at a time. And you had to install the game on discs and everything else. That. So like that feeling isn't there. But basically, once you had installed the game and you had patched it to the point that it was supposed to be, and you picked your realm, you would be brought to this screen where you choose to create your character.
Right.
And you get to choose between Alliance and Horde. Alliance is like humans, dwarves, night elves, and gnomes. Yeah. Horde is orcs, undead, taurens, and trolls. And I mean, if you go back to Warcraft, it's orcs versus humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Alliance came from that, and the Horde came from that. But this is what it would be like. So like, when I first logged into World of Warcraft, it was like, oh, I want to make a gnome. These guys are short. They're cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, oh, a warlock, and I like read all this information. Like, warlocks are the bane of all life, empowered by demonic blood that can inflict great torment upon their foes to replenish the dreadful energy their spells expend.
No. Hold on a second here. I'm gonna take a quick pause. I'll be right back.
Okay.
2 seconds. All right. Sorry, we had some.
First of all, I lost the main. I lost the main aspect of logging in the first time.
Okay, what do we got?
And it was the music. It was the music. That was
they didn't have the Blizzard launcher though, right?
No, not at that time.
It was just an EXE on your desktop, probably.
Then you had the music, you know.
Yeah, we can't hear any of the music.
You can on the stream.
No. I don't hear it. Oh, I hear it.
So you log in and you're like, all right. And I was like, these guys.
It's very quiet, but I hear it.
I was like, these guys look like mongrels. You know what I mean? I don't want to be these guys.
Yeah.
I want to be these guys. These guys look cool. These guys look like the good guys. I saw these gnomes and I was like, oh, these guys are awesome. So you're a kid. You're 14, 13 years old, and you're going through this experience of like, wow, dude, like this is cool. Look, pick my skin color. Man, it's super white. I want to have a beard. Pick the beard. I got the angry look. It's a good warlock look.
Yeah.
Hairstyle. I don't know. What I like the baldy. You know.
Yeah, that looks like the guy you probably made like 300 times in a row.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then you try to come up with a cool name. You know what I mean? Like death dealer. You know.
That's where I just stopped.
This is what I do. Is I wanted like a real RP name. I was like a big nerd. I was like Lord of the Rings nerd.
Yeah.
It's like what sounds gnomey, like Fitzwizzle or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fitzwizzle. That's a good one. And this is where it begins right here. Okay? Here we go. When we log in, we enter the world. Get the loading screen. Very classic feel to it. And imagine this is just all on a CRT monitor. Because it's square. Even the loading screen's square.
Yeah. I remember like it was yesterday.
And you're here. You don't have headphones. Like you might have a headset or something, but you're listening on speakers.
The eccentric, often brilliant
yeah, of course.
are held as one of the most peculiar races of the world.
And then you get to hear this.
With their obsession for developing radical new technologies and constructing marvels of mind-bending engineering.
And it starts
It's
to
a
show
wonder
you
that
your
any
first
gnomes
part
have
of the
survived
world.
to
You know what I
proliferate.
mean?
Okay, yeah.
The gnomes
And this
have
by this point,
contributed ingenious
by this
weapons to
point
create
at 13,
grand
14,
lines in its fierce
you were already completely enthralled. Like
Yeah.
within the wondrous
See, I didn't get this far.
is
I
this
thought
just
this
you're
was-
like, is this just a cutscene?
I was a junior in high school. I was way too busy like smoking weed and stuff to care about this. That's
Look
why
how
I
this
missed it.
leads. Look how this leads in. Though. Watch this.
Aided by their dwarven allies, the
They're
gnomes
talking about
fought
Nomergon,
valiant
they're talking about
battles
this,
to
they're
save
talking
their
about that.
beloved city. Nevertheless,
That is you.
Nomergon was
Up on the hill.
lost.
No.
The surviving gnomes fled to the safety of the
It
dwarven
looks very
stronghold of
Warcrafty.
Ironforge.
That's what's cool. It looks like they took Warcraft and like, what if we went closer?
To retake
You know?
the
Well,
city.
just like they just.
As a gnome of proud standing, it falls to you to answer the challenge and lead your curious
There you at, boy.
to a brighter future.
And then just bring you right in behind your character.
Right.
Lead you right into being you're just Fitzwizzle, dude. I'm no longer Barry Dubs. Like, I am Fitzwizzle.
Yeah. people are talking
and you
stuff.
got these abilities down here, and you're like, you walk up, trying to figure out how to walk. You're using the arrow keys.
Hi.
Yeah, if I saw this at like 13 or 14,
take this first quest. They tell you you need tough wolf meat. You got to kill these wolves out here. Say, all right, I'm gonna kill these damn wolves out here. You throw a shadow bolt at him.
Uh-oh.
And there you go. You killed your first wolf. You get some frayed pants and you say, oh, I got a piece of gear, and you put it on.
Yeah. That was what's up.
Kill some more wolves real quick. I got my demon skin. Increases armor by 40 and restores 3 health per 5 seconds. And look at that tough wolf meat. Got my first piece. It tells you 1 out of 8. You're like, oh man, this is getting real now.
See, I thought I was I played a lot of StarCraft, but I played a lot of StarCraft obviously versus the computer or my friends. On LAN games, I played a lot of Age of Empires against my friends on LAN games, and by the time this came out, I was like, that's too nerdy for me.
So you go, so obviously, all right, so we saw the basics of how you begin. But then you go to this, and you say, this is where I am. This is the starting area. This is the first, like, area.
Mm-hmm.
This is the continent out of 2 continents.
Wow. Yeah, so you're like, whoa, there's a lot to do.
So you're talking about an actual planet.
Right. Now, was there stuff off this map?
No.
That'd be cool. Like an Easter egg. I'm obsessed with Easter eggs. Till then.
But yeah, I mean, so that changed my view of gaming in general, I think.
Right. Oh, for sure. You play something like that at 13 or 14, it's over.
And you could just play for hours and hours and hours.
See, when I was 13 or 14, I was playing Counter-Strike. I thought that was the game.
I played that too.
Yeah.
But I played that at the LAN center.
Right, yeah.
Where we played Ops Knives with low gravity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a different world. Different world. But now
when a game is going to be released, you see it on stream before you even play it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I Google gameplay for any game.
Yeah.
Any game. I don't buy a game unless I've seen an hour of gameplay, basically. But you used to get demos, though, remember?
Yeah,
that was kind of similar.
Demos were a thing. If you bought a game, there'd be a demo for another game on it.
Or I'd get gaming magazines.
Yeah.
And they would come with demos for games. You know, you'd get like a demo disc and it'd have a few different games on it. That's really how I got exposed to games, I think, back then.
Well,
besides going to Blockbuster or Movie Gallery and renting games. But
COMMAND. Where were we, man? I got lost in the sauce.
No, we were just talking about how, you know, Valorant is going to be dead in 2 months.
I don't know
it's
about
gonna
that.
Be or it's going to be the new Counter-Strike. I don't think it could fall anywhere in between.
I guess only time will tell, really. Because they really haven't changed Counter-Strike much over the course of decades. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like StarCraft, you know? Why change it? People love it. And I think hardcore CS players that are still playing CS, I don't think they're going to drop it for Valorant. There's no way. If they were going to drop it for another game like it, they would have done it already for something.
Yeah, but I think most of them want to try it.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
Even
but
if
that's
it's just hate on it or whatever else, you know what I mean?
No, I think that's where we're at, though. Like you're saying, these streamers and stuff, we're at the point where they just want to try it. These games, they don't last. Look at Black Ops.
Well, that's Call of Duty culture in general.
Now it is. I don't think it was
always was
like that.
ever since Modern
Really?
Warfare.
People play Modern Warfare 2 forever, though.
Yeah,
Forever.
but then what? Black Ops 1 came out.
But people were still playing Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
I've got a friend. I bet you he's still playing Modern Warfare 2 right now.
Black Ops 1 came out, and then Modern Warfare 3 came out, and then Black Ops 2 came out, and then this came out, and that came out.
Yeah. It's a model. I mean, at least it's better than like FIFA, you know?
Yeah.
they really
I mean, I don't know, man. I played some Madden in my day.
Me too, but I could play a Madden that is years old and not care at all.
Yeah, same.
That's
you know what I liked about sports games is when you like make your character and you put him on a team.
Yeah.
And it was you.
Right.
It turned like the sports game into like an RPG.
Your stats go up and stuff.
I was a big fan of that. Especially like dude, UFC games.
I never got into a UFC.
Oh, they were fun, dude.
Yeah.
You make your character and they only give you a certain amount of stats. And you get your ass beat, bro.
And you build it up?
Yeah.
You
build up your stats and you just become a god who just knocks everybody out in one punch, basically.
Yeah, I never played
that stuff's really fun, man. Really fun.
The last sports game I really got into, really like heavy, I played it all the time, was Wayne Gretzky hockey on the N64.
I played a lot of NBA Jam.
Yeah, that's the other one. But Wayne Gretzky hockey was like, that was it.
You know what got me into sports games? And this is what made me like Madden a lot. Was I had on the Sega, the Genesis, I had like a Joe Montana football.
Okay.
And
I think I remember that.
It played like Madden. To where like it was like top down, but it played a lot like Madden to where like, you're the quarterback and you snap and you throw it, and then when the receiver catches the ball, you become the receiver and you play the receiver. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Played a lot like that, but really you could just throw Hail Marys all the time and like just catch them and
that's all you do.
Run a touchdown and win.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's why Madden appealed to me so much.
Yeah.
And then there was games like NFL Blitz.
That's a game to me.
Yeah.
See, if I play it on the video games,
I lost.
I want to be throwing Hail Marys that are like on fire, Yeah,
like NBA Jam, where you make 3 shots in a row and you go on fire and you're burning the basket. And
that's what I'm saying. The
NFL
Blitz was a good game.
Dude, NFL Blitz, when you go to tackle somebody and you can just like power bomb them into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I played. You know what I played? I played a lot of wrestling games.
I never played wrestling games.
Yeah, and you create your character in those too, and like me and my cousin, we create our characters, and we have like tag team. We're like the tag team gods. You know what I mean?
I watched some people play it.
Oh yeah, that stuff was really. And you get your finishers and you set up your whole move base and everything.
Because the thing for me when I was a kid, it was either get a game purchased for me every once in a while by my parents, or you go to Blockbuster and rent a game. And I'm not going to waste my
that's how I played a lot of single player games.
Yeah. I'm not going to waste it on. Sorry, but I'm not going to waste it on a wrestling game.
Yeah.
I'm going to get like Shadows of the Empire or something.
See, I would get like single player games for that, and then I'd rather the games that you can play co-op or multiplayer sort of things bought for me.
Yeah, so you could have.
So we could replayability, replay them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I only owned like I owned Shadows of the Empire because I rented it from Blockbuster and we never took it back. And we bought Mario and GoldenEye and like Wave Race came with it, I think, or something. And Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie. But then that was like it. The rest were rentals. We rented a lot of games when I was a kid.
We bought a lot of games. We would buy them. Yeah.
My mom was like, "Nah, that's too expensive. Let's spend
we had like
$10 every week."
We had like a GameCube.
Yeah.
Played like Phantasy Star Online, which wasn't an online game. It was just called Phantasy Star Online.
Wasn't it an online game
I think
eventually?
it was. Yeah, I mean, I think it had online capabilities at the time that I played it, but I never was interested in hooking my GameCube up to the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you had to buy the dongle and all that stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's like Xbox days. I played like Knights of the Old Republic,
Yeah.
and that's what got me into like. That's really what got me into Star Wars in general, honestly.
Right.
Like I played Knights of the Old Republic, and it was like this amazing RPG. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think the way games come out now, I think it's gotten me pessimistic about getting hyped about games. Even though I still get hyped.
Will's buddy Brian, who is the only person that I think is debatably better than Will, just killed the Doc in Warzone.
Nice.
So.
Holy crap! There we go.
Dude, did Will ever tell you that he killed Wadu one time?
No, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Will killed Wadu one time. He's super stoked about it.
It's amazing that you can get in these games, people. It's just like happenstance, you know? There's so many people playing.
So, with Valorant coming out, I mean, I don't know. Is it going to be the next CS? Who knows? We'll see.
Nah.
But the main point I wanted to make was like, certain games get latched onto by these streamers and they just get blown up. And
right.
Certain games just don't.
Yeah. Certain games just go bankrupt within a week.
And I want to say it's even harder for like a small company to put out a game and it get popular. Mm-hmm. But the internet, the way it is, it's such a weird fluctuating system of communication that some indie games get extremely popular. Like look at like Undertale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's very true. But I think that maybe the big ones that just go straight to the top are these big names still. That's maybe why Riot, not that Valve acquiring Counter-Strike mod isn't a big name, but Riot is such a big name. I think if they really wanted to do it, which I'm sure they do, they might take a big chunk of the market share.
I mean, Riot should make an MMO.
Yeah, well,
might be the only thing that could take down WoW. They just make their own version of WoW.
Right. What would that look like? That would be. I think Riot's got a lot of the Asian market cornered.
Yeah.
I think that's why they make big moves like that. Why they put up the numbers they do.
I mean, WoW is very much so. I mean, it's played in the Asian market, but it's very much so like an NAEU, oceanic sort of thing.
They play MOBAs. I mean, they play MMOs though, right?
Yeah, yeah. No,
are they more?
There's still Chinese guilds in the World First Race and everything else, but I feel like it's more.
But I mean, do they play a different one though? Do they not put up the same numbers in MMOs as in general? Because they do like RTSs or like MOBAs.
I'm not really sure. I can't really speak to that too much. But I know certain games that aren't very popular in America do get popular over there. Like there's a Korean MMO called Terra that got very, very popular in like the Asian market.
So they wouldn't be opposed if Riot came out with one. They might pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not like they're only MOBA
I mean, if
players.
Riot came out with an MMO, I think everyone would try it. Just like Valorant.
Right.
When Valorant hits live, and I don't know if it's going to be free or not.
I think it will be.
I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
When Valorant goes live, I think everybody's going to be playing it, at least for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I'm seeing Twitch numbers that I haven't seen in a long time from Valorant.
That's true. That is true.
Like, I'm seeing Summit hitting 250K.
He's at 276 right now.
I haven't seen these numbers since...
276!
I haven't seen these numbers since, like, Ninja was playing Fortnite.
Right.
But the thing about Ninja playing Fortnite is he was hitting that daily for a long time.
You had to build that up for sure.
But Apex came out, and all of a sudden, Ninja's getting like 70K.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem with this being, kind of latched onto one game.
It's flavor of the week type situation, right?
But it lasted. I mean, it did. I mean, the guy probably made a fortune.
Oh yeah.
The guy's probably still got a lot of viewers. You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think about Warzone Season 3 so far?
Right now, I'm just excited that I get new guns out of boxes. So I like it. I don't dislike it in any way so far.
I don't think they really heard anything with the change.
Except the biggest change, and my biggest complaint, of course, is I don't know if quads is the way to go. But I'm thinking a lot of people agree that quads was the way to go.
I don't know, man.
I don't think they like 3-man, but I think quads, you can't play. Like if you're the last man standing against 4 people, come on. 3 is like the max. It feels like.
Yeah, like if you're gonna kill a team as a solo guy, I feel like 3 people.
You can catch 2 off guard and then go toe to toe
with the last one and hopefully win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's something that I didn't realize.
With 4 though, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like dropping solo in PUBG. Like you're not.
Yeah. But the whole thing is I think they might just be trying it out. We'll see.
I think they might be trying it out. I mean, I feel like they designed the map for 3, or else they wouldn't have released it as 3.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they're just playing it by ear for now.
Maybe they'll try this out, see how it goes, and then go back.
I really want duos. Duos would be fun.
Maybe we'll see 5-man.
I feel like duos would be pretty fun.
I feel like maybe I'm biased, but I feel like most people that play these games have like one person that they always link up with.
Okay, so I got a few topics that we need to bang through real quick before the show ends.
17 minutes? All right,
before the show ends.
What do we got?
What's it looking like is going to be the true effect of this disease on the economy?
It's going to be fucked. Next.
Yeah, but
it's going to be hurt.
Won't it bounce back though?
Oh yeah, it always does. It always does. I'd say, the market took such a hit, but it didn't continue down, which is good. I think that people are going to make money off the recovery for sure, of businesses going out of business, unfortunately, and new things moving in, or the big boys who don't go out of business are going to make money on lending money to businesses and lending money. It'll hurt it in the short term. I think it'll help it. It might even make more jobs for people because we're going to have to plan for this to happen again. We're going to have to put factories to work on supplies and stuff to have them stockpiled. We're going to have to, we already have a healthcare worker shortage in this country.
Is this going to change the way that the world looks at the medical field and looks at being prepared in general for something like this to happen again?
For a year, tops. The problem is this happened already 100 years ago. Granted, it was 100 years ago, but it happened way worse than this. So many people died, and we don't prep for this kind of stuff.
So what are we talking about now?
Spanish flu.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
1918, 17 and 18, it ravaged the world. The numbers it put up, especially adjusted for population size of the world, like total number of people, astronomical. We're not even going to come close. So, I mean, hopefully. But, and we don't think about that on a daily basis.
Where did that originate, though?
It was called the Spanish flu, but I think it originated with somewhere else. I think somebody said Kansas, but I don't know if that was a meme or what.
So you think we're going to bounce back, but I mean, a lot of people are taking a hit. Is this going to be on a global scale the same thing as our 08 market collapse, like our real estate market collapse?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar, but hopefully not as bad. I don't think it's
that
going
put
to be
us
as
into a
bad.
recession. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that the fact that, see, what happened with that is it affected us and it daisy chained and affected a lot of people worldwide. But this is like worldwide in the same way, same end result, but in a
I would
different
like
way,
to think that we
obviously.
would come out of this in a positive light, and that we would think, we need to be more unified as a human race. But I really don't think that's going to happen.
No, that's the thing. These people's, people in general, including me, attention spans are so short.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
Iberian Peninsula. Oh wait, let's see. They're unsure of its source. France, China, and Britain have all been suggested as the potential birthplace of the Spanish flu. Anyway,
So not Kansas.
no, but the first known case was reported by a military base in Kansas on March 11th, 1918.
So,
But they had just come back from the war.
yeah.
These military people. So
I think that there's only so much we can say about COVID. I wanted to ask that question because you're more of an economical guy than I am.
yeah, I'm hoping it'll go good. We'll see.
This new WoW expansion looks really crazy, really really good. I think it's gonna breathe life back into that game.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have to hit every expansion to be ready for the next? That's what I was wondering the other day.
Well, with the new one, they're changing the way that you level a lot. They're really more focused on they've accepted the fact that in-game is the game.
Right.
They're cutting down the level experience a lot. When you make a new character, you basically level through the last expansion, BFA.
Mm-hmm.
And you're ready for the new one.
So when the new one comes out, if I were, let's say somebody like jumped in for the first time, I would play through the past expansions first?
Only one.
Oh, only the most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay. So if, let's say you as a longtime player, you see an expansion come out, it sucks, it's not worth playing. You personally play it because it's still the game. You love it. But could I skip an expansion and then go to the next one, or I'd still have to play the other one?
I mean, the way that it works is that they just turn the expansion into a leveling experience. So you'll quest through or you'll dungeon through, but you're not going to be doing the raid content and things like that of the previous expansion.
Oh, so it's it's basically they make it just a breeze. Not a breeze, but
right now,
so you can go right through.
Right now, if you went to level a new character, you would start wherever your character starts, and you level through classic zones that scale as you go, and then you move on and you choose between 2 expansions and you do that, and then you move on, you choose between 2 more expansions and you do that. And then there's 3 or 4 expansions worth of content that you got to get through, but it's all just basically questing or dungeon leveling.
Right.
You're never gonna do the in-game expansions of those or the in-game content of those expansions ever again. You know what I mean?
Right, because there's new end-game content. And that's the end game.
But now what they're doing is if a brand new player starts in Shadowlands, there's going to be a specific brand new player island that teaches you the basics of the game and even puts you through a one-man sort of dungeon thing, so you get the feel for how a dungeon works.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll send you to BFA to level to 50 or whatever, and then it'll send you to the new expansion. If you make a new character as an existing player with an already max level character, you will start in your starting area, and then you will choose the expansion that you want to level through before you go to the Shadowlands.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more new player friendly for sure. I think they listen to a lot of community feedback, and I think they're making some big strides to try to repair their reputation and try to repair the game as a whole after this pretty bad expansion.
So on the expansion list going back all the way.
Oh, you want to do that?
where does this one fall?
I mean, it's to be seen. You know what I mean?
Right. But in your mind, the ideal outcome here, it's going to be number one?
Ideally?
Yeah, I guess ideally it would be, obviously.
I mean, yeah. I mean, ideally it's going to be the most fun thing World of Warcraft's ever released. You know what I mean?
But you think it's got the potential there to be that? Or no?
I don't know. I really don't. Historically, I think... I need an expansion list. Historically, I think... there's World of Warcraft, the original. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, here we go. I got a list. There was World of Warcraft, and it was like, this is incredible. But I mean, you go back and play Classic, and it's still really fun, but like, it's not new anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the Burning Crusade that really just took the original game and just really expanded on a lot of things. It didn't really change the core of the game too much.
Right, it was like a DLC, basically.
Wrath of the Lich King is when they started to change things. Like, really change things.
Like gameplay and everything.
To about 50% of WoW playing population, this is the best expansion ever made. To the other 50%, this was the beginning of the end.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So Cataclysm was widely regarded as a very meh expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Mists of Pandaria, a lot of people didn't like the premise or the story because it was like panda people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was widely regarded as one of the more complicated expansions when it came to actual like class and spec gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Classes had a lot of abilities, probably too much.
So they threw too much at it.
Yeah, and then there was a big content drought at the end. But as far as like PvP and everything goes, and a lot of the raids, like Mist of Pandaria, was people say it was really, really good. Warlords of Draenor is pretty much generally hated by the population. The storyline was basically a retcon / time travel thing, where all that came out of it at the end really was the big bad of Pandaria dying and the big bad of Legion, which was the next expansion, coming back to life through the portal.
Alright.
They implemented a garrison system, which was like a little base that you would have for your own character.
Right.
Where you could... That basically killed the professions economy. Because you could mine there even if you didn't have mining. You could herb there even if you didn't have herbing. And so on. The only good content really in it was the raids. But you would just log on and raid and log back out.
So it was a different feel.
Yeah. Legion, in my opinion, was the best World of Warcraft expansion thus far. They added Mythic Plus, which is much like a group version of Greater Rifts from Diablo. It's endlessly replayable. You get keys, and you can endlessly replay these dungeons, more and more difficulty, until you just can't do it anymore because it's too hard, or your character's not geared enough, or you're not good enough, or whatever else. And Legion also leaned heavily on class identity, to where you got these artifact weapons that were like ancient weapons of your like specific spec, or like specification, like elemental shaman, enhancement shaman, and it leaned a lot on like class lore and everything else. And it was just, story-wise, was a really, really, really good expansion. There was only a few faux pas with, like, the legendary system was very RNG, and your character just did not play well without him because it was tuned for it. So for the more hardcore players, you really had to grind to get these legendary drops, which you could almost get from anywhere. But when you got one, like, it would pop up on your screen and it'd be like, oh, you acquired this legendary, and it was like a big like blah, like thing, you know what I mean? And it was super exciting. It was really, really cool.
So was a grind for that like worth it then? Was it cool enough?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it made your character play the way that it was intended to play, so.
Right. So that was your best so far then. Legion was the best.
I think so.
Okay.
Battle for Azeroth was Legion, but with most of the good things taken out and all of the bad things kept in.
So wait. All the mechanics, good mechanics taken out, bad mechanics left in.
They did
the
this
story
thing in
was
Legion.
Just different.
They did this thing in Legion where they changed the way that the global cooldown works, and they put a lot of abilities on the global cooldown that weren't on the global cooldown before. And it made every class feel like it played really slow.
Oh, okay.
And they changed a lot of the ways that the secondary stats work, so you couldn't stack like a lot of haste or anything, and that made classes feel slow as well. And they made a lot of changes to specs in general that just made them feel clunky. And just nothing really felt like it played that well. Mythic Plus was an addition to Legion, obviously. It carried on into Battle for Azeroth, but a lot of the dungeons didn't feel like they were made with Mythic Plus in mind, like they should have been. And the story was just kind of really bad. It got good, but it started like just boring. Like we went from like fighting like demons, and like ended on fighting like the world soul of the demonic planet as the last boss,
right,
to fighting witches and pirates.
Oh, they ran out of demons.
But then you, at the end of this expansion, you sort of got into the big bads of Warcraft, which is like the old gods. The old gods have always been like the big bads, like the looming threat. You know what I mean?
And that's when they got to him?
Was the end. I mean, we fought in old gods before, but the last one that's left alive is N'Zoth. And he was like in the end of this expansion.
Okay.
But it just did it in a patch, and it felt like it should have been the entire expansion. It kind of was leading up to that, but it didn't feel like it was leading up to that.
Gotcha.
With Shadowlands, the veil to the Shadowlands has been torn, which is basically the afterlife of Warcraft.
Uh-oh.
And we're all going there.
Holy hell. So everyone that you've already killed is going to be there.
Yes. They're going to bring back a lot of beloved enemies. Or, well, you know, beloved, hated enemies, whatever. They're going to bring back a lot of beloved heroes and characters that have died.
Wow.
It's going to be...
This is going to be... It's almost like a big reunion.
Yeah, and they're doing the level squish back down to 60. They're changing a lot of ways that the game works. So, and they're adding something called the Maw of Torghast, which is like a procedurally generated tower that you play solo. And that's going to be a whole nother aspect of the game that people are really excited about.
Like a tower dungeon, like fight your way up the tower?
Yeah.
Oh.
And when you die, you gotta go and start over, basically. Like a roguelike sort of thing.
Are they kind of resetting it? Some things about it? The feel of it or something? Or
sort of, yeah. I mean, they're adding the Maw of Torghast. They're going to keep in Mythic Plus. They're going to keep the aspects that people like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're getting rid of a lot.
Interesting.
They're also unpruning some classes. They're calling it the grand unpruning sort of thing, where they're giving... For a long time, classes have not been identified as classes, but as specializations. They're giving classes back abilities as a whole. Like, for instance, like an assassination rogue right now uses poisons and things like that. But if you go back to, like, the classic days, all specializations of rogues would use poisons. Assassination would just be better at using poisons.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of bringing back a class identity as opposed to a spec identity. So they're doing some unpruning. They're giving back some abilities. They're doing some cool stuff. They're adding new abilities with these covenants that you have to like align with as you're playing through the Shadowlands. It's really interesting, man.
Sounds like it's gonna be. So is this the one for new players to hop onto?
Yeah.
This is it.
I would say.
Would you have said that about this last one that was upcoming?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't recommend it anybody to play it, honestly.
That's big. That's big right there. So you heard it first here. Start playing Warcraft. You're not playing it already.
I would wait.
Start very soon, though.
I would wait until this expansion actually comes out.
Start right after the expansion comes out.
Or maybe like at least in the pre-patch when they change the leveling and everything.
Right. How soon do they pre-patch, or what's the time in between the pre-patch and the actual full drop?
Usually like a couple months.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were gonna say like a week.
They implement the pre-patch, so this time like it'll be 9.0.
Right.
They implement the pre-patch and all their changes that they want to take effect, like level squishes, character changes, reworks, and things like that go into effect before the expansion actually comes out. That way you can figure out how to play your character, or if you want to change characters, you can figure out how your other characters play. See what you really like, you know, get into the mechanics of a character before you get into the mechanics of the expansion. And usually with the pre-patch, they'll have like events and things to kind of lead you into the expansion. Something that pertains to the new expansion, obviously. Like before Legion came out, there was Legion invasions all over, where like you go and like it's getting invaded by demons, and like same thing happened
like
with
this one. It's gonna be like it's ripped open, so people coming out or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be dealing a lot with like the Scourge and stuff from like Wrath of the Lich King, basically, and.
So we're going hard on the new expansion. Saying.
Yeah.
You're all in.
Yeah. And I think you're gonna play.
There it is.
A little bit.
There it is, man. There it is.
The problem with World of Warcraft getting into is it's so expensive.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
But a lot of times,
handle subscriptions.
A lot of times before an expansion comes out, like right before an expansion comes out, you can buy like the game and all the expansions before it for like $5-10.
Right.
And then you're spending like 40 to 60 on the expansion.
Yeah, but there's that subscription. If I don't play it, I'm just gonna cancel.
Yeah, $15 a month.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it if you put your time in, for sure.
And this is how things changed. They implemented the WoW token. You can buy it with in-game currency.
Oh, okay.
So
that's big.
If you make enough money in-game, you can buy game time.
Big. That's huge, really, because, you know, you're ready to grind.
So we're about out of time.
I'm calling it.
I'll save my other topics for the next show.
This has been Lore of the Things, brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
I want to talk about next week. I want to talk about offbeat sitcoms.
Okay.
Like comedy shows that are good, comedy shows that aren't so good.
Right.
I'm talking like The Office, Community, Scrubs, whatever else is good.
Sounds good to me.
And I think we'll cover next generation consoles on the next show too.
Ooh, exciting stuff.
Like what's coming for that.
That's something to definitely tune in for, because that's exciting.
But that's going to be it for the night. So thanks for everyone who's watching. Don't forget to follow so you know when we go live.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Wait, this isn't YouTube, is it?
Twitch.tv/BarryDubs. Twitch.tv/TheKidZach. At Lord of the Rings on Twitter. At Barry Dubs Official on Instagram, I think. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
At Barry Dubs on Instagram. At the Kid Zach on Instagram. At
Boom.
Barry Dubs on
Fiverr.
At Real Barry Dubs on Twitter.
At Barry Dubs on Fiverr, you can hire Barry Dubs to narrate your.
At the Kid Zach on Twitter. We're gonna get with YouTube. What we're gonna do is something a little. We're not gonna put the whole podcast on YouTube. We're gonna start cutting these things down and making audio versions of them for podcast listeners. But
That's
on YouTube,
podcast.
though, we're gonna do highlights. So we'll start that soon, and then we're gonna be asking people to just subscribe because we're gonna need 100 subscribers to make a custom link. But
That's
if
right.
it's not taken, it's just gonna be youtube.com/loreofthethings.
I think it might be taken by them imitators.
Probably
By them haters.
Probably the
No.
haters and the imitators. But that's gonna be it for tonight. It seemed like a pretty quick show. It blew by. We had some good things to talk about.
Once you get talking about WoW, it's over.
Yeah, I know it's pretty much over at that point. We probably shouldn't talk about WoW anymore.
It just speeds right through it. That's because everyone's so entertained.
Well, thanks for coming out. If you did, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for the subs, the bits, the donos, all that kind of stuff.
You make
we
this
appreciate
stream.
it.
You people watching right now.
Everybody that's watching, you make the stream.
I'm talking to you.
We'll see you next week.
Okay. See you guys.